Eagles fans, you're now locked into the Think Eagles YouTube channel with Pablo Gary, the #1 Eagles fan from Maryland.
Kick it and go, kick it and go. With a stiff arm, spin move, in zones, go. For sideline, a touchdown, I put on a show. I had to kick off and go. I had to kick off and go. With a stiff arm, spin move, in zones, go.
Let's go. Eagles on 3, 1, 2, 3.
There you go. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Hey guys, always the worst day of the year. Everyone we bring in this building, we bring in because of how much we appreciate them and we like them. We get to select who we bring in this building, which is one of the perks of our jobs. One of the worst parts of our jobs is telling 38 guys today that they don't make the team. So we had an opportunity to do that together with every single one of them. We'll see what happens here in the next 24 hours. We got a lot of uncertainty. We got a lot of work here to do too as a staff with all the players that are available. Any upgrade, even incrementally, that helps the team we're looking for here. So we'll get right back up and get back to work.
What's up, Eagles Nation? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Pablo Gary. You're now locked into Think Eagles. I am your #1 Eagles fan from Maryland. In today's video, I'm just giving you guys my initial reaction to the Philadelphia Eagles 53-man roster. Not a lot of surprises. Obviously, the biggest surprise, most Eagles fans are still scratching their head trying to figure out why Bradberry is still on his team. Listen, man, if you're Howie Roseman, it'll be hard to walk upstairs into Jeff Lurie's office and tell him that you wasted $11 million, right? Bradberry can still play. Is he the worst cornerback in the league? No, not by far. So the Eagles, they say, hey, man, he's a veteran player who can play multiple spots for us. He's at safety currently, but we know he's truly a cornerback. If there's a guy that goes down, Slay goes down, and the Eagles need a emergency cornerback, that's going to be Bradberry's role until another team, comes along and say, hey, man, we need a guy because our starter went down, and, we'll give you something for Bradberry. So I think the Eagles are being smart here financially. And then also trying to, figure out that role that he can play to where he adds value, and I think it is the thought and the idea that, hey, if this guy goes down, he can do this, or he could be our backup this. So that is value, right? And so you got to get something for that $11 million. And so, yeah, I think that's basically, what I'll say and sort of touch on with the James Bradberry situation. Honestly, guys, coming out of our last preseason game against the Minnesota Vikings, I'm still stuck on the backup quarterback position. I'm still not feeling. I'm not feeling Kenny Pickett. I just got to be 100% honest with you guys. Kenny is a former first-round pick, 20th pick overall by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Grew up an Eagles fan, diehard Eagles fan, and to me, it just hasn't worked out. And I get, where Howie Roseman's coming from. It's like, man, I gave up a third-round pick, top 100 for this guy. We got to give him a chance. And I hear that and I understand that. But, man, when you look at what the Green Bay Packers gave up for Malik Willis, right? And to me, Malik Willis has more talent than Kenny Pickett, just natural football talent. They gave up a 7th-round pick, a measly seventh round pick and a bag of peanuts for Malik Willis. And the Eagles gave up a 3rd-round pick. We swapped our 3rd for their 4th. You move out of the 3rd round for a top 100 player for Kenny Pickett. I mean, this preseason, he stunk up the joint. And so for me, I'm just like, man, I'm not seeing it. It's not like the Eagles have a bad offensive line. Our backups are damn good. So, he's sitting there in the pocket, not reading, not getting to his reads. He's just a deer in headlights. He's fumbling the brotherly shove. I mean, I just don't like his game. And, Howie Roseman, he has done great things. He's been very magician-like this offseason, But Howie, I gotta ding you. I gotta dock you. I gotta dock you on the Kenny Pickett move because that wasn't it. The Kenny Pickett move, for me personally, you guys may like him. I respect that. But for me, Kenny Pickett is just not my guy. So, I just got my fingers crossed, man, that Jalen Hurts stays healthy this season, because I'm telling you, this won't be another Nick Foles situation. If Jalen Hurts goes down like Carson Wentz did, you don't look back and think that Kenny Pickett is going to take you where you need to go, because he is not. He is not. So, as you guys can see, I'm a little insecure about our backup quarterback position, and I'm looking around the league and I'm seeing guys getting cut like Desmond Ridder. I think he has some game. He's 6'4". He stands tall in the pocket. He has some mobility to him, good accuracy, right? I like Desmond Ridder, right? So, but again, you can't go upstairs to Jeff Lurie if you're Howie Roseman. Say, hey, not only did I waste $11 million on the Bradberry move, but I also I wasted draft capital with Kenny Pickett. Nah, it won't be a good conversation. So, you got to stick to what you chose to do. And we chose to trade for Kenny Pickett, and it is what it is. So, in other news, there was another name out there. Lewis Seen, man, former first-round pick safety out of Georgia. Another Georgia guy. I know the Eagles can't keep getting all of these Georgia guys, but Lewis Seen is a little different, man. Honestly, even in Madden, I trade for him every single time. I give up a second and a third for him. This is when his rookie year. I think right now they want like a fourth or a fifth. He's free right now for the Philadelphia Eagles to go get. He is a hard-hitting safety that comes downhill, and he is ready to strike. This is a guy at worst. He's gonna upgrade your special teams, right? So you get a guy that comes in, 24 years old, familiar with all the other Georgia guys. He gets comfortable, huge upgrade of special teams, and he could be a reserve safety over Bradberry, So I think he's a name, man, that I would, if I'm Howie Roseman, I would really give a strong look at. I just like his game. I like his game. I love his physicality, his toughness. He's a tone setter. I'm not sure what exactly happened in Minnesota, but I do know that their fans are not really happy about that. A lot of teams are giving up on their first round talent, and I hope the Eagles don't do this. Hopefully the Eagles next year, we're not cutting Nakobe Dean and cutting Nolan Smith Jr. I think that would just be a very just premature bad move. And I'll say this about Nolan Smith Jr. before we get to what Howie Roseman thinks about him. To me, there's no way that you can truly celebrate Brandon Graham and you can be on this final lap tour that he's on this year and want to give up on Nolan Smith Jr. How can you be like, oh, go BG, and yeah, he's an Eagle legend, and yeah, he's this, he's that, and then Nolan Smith, we can release you, I don't care about you, we can cut you. Their careers started the same. Everybody thought that the Eagles should draft Earl Thomas. Everybody thought that the Eagles should have went that direction, this direction. BG gets hurt, starts slow. Eagles, remember Chip Kelly, brought that 3-4 defense. We're always changing defenses. Nolan Smith, rookie year is a 4-3. This year's a 3-4. He was hurt a little bit his rookie year, right? So for me, he still found a way. He found a way to register at least a sack, right? So for me, it's just, I don't get those who are judging Nolan Smith his rookie year when he barely played. The kid, he barely played. Howie Roseman, you tell me what you think.
Yeah, I think Nolan's got unique get-off, speed, and motor. And I think when you look at the guys that have that, they can be disruptive, they can be productive. I think for us, the guy is going to give you everything he's got, and he's got tools in his body to do it. He's still a developing player. He's still kind of learning. We do things differently than they do things in college. Obviously, tremendously successful in college. And he's still growing and he's still developing, and he's got all the tools in his body and he's got the right intangibles to be a good player.
The one thing I'll say about Nolan Smith is I'm very careful to put my mouth or judge guys and critique players who give me 1,000% effort. One thing that you will never question about Nolan Smith Jr. is his effort. And a lot of people, I think him playing in the third preseason game mentally is kind of like, it's weird because as fans, if you're playing in the final preseason game to us at home, it's like it's like you're waving the flag that like you're fighting for a spot to be on the roster. When really Nolan Smith, he was just trying to get extra reps because he didn't get it last year. So I get it. Like, I love his mentality. He's like, bro, I don't care if I was drafted in the first round or if I was drafted as Mr. Irrelevant. I want to play football. And so to me, what he displayed is the love of the game, right? And humility. The humility to go out there as a former first round pick, the final preseason game of the year, and still want to go get it. Like, that's the Eagle way. That's what we do. And so while everybody's critiquing Nolan Smith, while everybody is judging Nolan Smith, I want to commend Nolan Smith. I'm not critiquing him. I want to commend him because you have some first round picks that's like, yeah, I could, get the extra reps, but I'm a first round pick. That's not, I'm not trying to get better. This kid's, I want to get better. I want to get better, right? And it's not like he didn't get better. He registered sacks. Some people are saying, well, those sacks are fluke. He got pushed into the quarterback. Listen, when I look at the stats, it says Nolan Smith, 2 sacks. That's something that we can build on, right? Rather go into the season with 2 sacks. Like, we can't underestimate a guy touching and getting around even near and close to the quarterback, right? Come regular season, like he said, he's ready to spin. He's ready to go. So for me, I just have a different take. I respect everybody's take. I understand your side or your opinion, but for me, I look at it differently. For me, I just can't, personally, I cannot celebrate Brandon Graham in the same tongue judge and critique Nolan Smith Jr. Doesn't make sense. They basically have the same start to their careers, and I'm glad that Nolan Smith Jr. has Brandon Graham to lean on, to get that wisdom from, to get that experience from, right? Because Nolan's, he hears it. He hears the wisest guy playing, and he hears the doubts, man. But he's a guy, one thing not one Eagles fan can do, or any NFL fan in general, they cannot question his effort. You can't do it. And that's a guy ultimately that will get to his second contract. That's one thing in the NFL, man. When coaches see that, when they see effort, they can work with you. And I'm saying rookie year, his scheme was a 4-3. Now it's a 3-4. That's a lot. That's a lot. And Howie Roseman, I'm glad that he said, he's like, listen, man, the guy is still developing. He's a developing player. And it's like, we live in a world where even while you're evolving, you can get cut. You could get traded in your maturation process, which is absolutely insane. So, there are some key spots, man, that the Eagles have to address. And Howie Roseman said that, the roster is not done yet. He looks at this roster as a 70-man roster. There are some guys that he's looking at, some players that he's going to bring in the next 48 hours. I'm excited to see. But I think our roster is what it is. Offensively, we know what it is. We know what we're going to do. We know what kind of numbers we're going to put up game in and game out. That's going to be electrifying Jalen Hurts in that offense. We're good there. This defense, there's just a lot of question marks. That's all it is. We have the talent. There's just, even with the rookies, Quinion played great in the preseason. What will he do in regular season? Right? Cooper DeJean, late start due to injury, made some plays his final season. Can he carry it over, right? Devin White Bad season last year, down year. What will he do this year? Nolan Smith, what will he do? Injury bug with Nakobe Dean, what will he do? Can Jalen Carter, can he be consistent? What about Jordan Davis? It's so many different question marks. Darius Slade, did he lose a step, right? CJ Gardner-Johnson coming off a torn ACL. Can he? So we have the talent, but it's just so many question marks to where, for me, I don't see a championship defense today at 12:58 p.m. August 28th. But that doesn't mean that we can't grow into that championship defense. And this is why I'm glad that you have, and why you need a guy like Vic Fangio, that old school mindset, to reel in these young guys, to write down the vision and make it plain and show these guys and navigate them this entire season. So Howie has done his job. It is now time for him to pass the baton to Nick Sirianni and his coaching staff, and hopefully they can do their job. Hey, I'm Pablo Gary. Thank you so much for checking out Think Eagles. I appreciate you guys' support. Shout out to you guys, man. It's not only the players that have to grind in rookie mini camp and to OTAs into training camp. It's you all, man. Thank you guys so much just for enduring the season and supporting the channel. The players are not the only, people grinding. We are grinding too, trying to get to the season. So shout out to you guys for supporting the channel, man. I'm really excited for this year. More content dropping soon as we prepare for the Philadelphia Eagles to take flight to head to Brazil to face Jordan Love, Matt LaFleur, Josh Jacobs, and that high-powered offense. But it starts with the 53-man roster. Give Howie Roseman a little bit more time. He's still working. He's still putting the final touches on this team, and I'm really excited about that. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you. As always, fly, Eagles, fly. Peace.
You've been watching the Think Eagles YouTube channel with your host, Pablo Gary. Thanks for always showing that brotherly love. Catch you on the next one.